The views, opinions, and representations expressed on the Night Dreams Talk Radio Network and its website are those of the hosts, guests, and participants, and are not necessarily those of or endorsed by the network, its affiliated stations and broadcasts, the management, other hosts, or advertisers of the network. The shows found on the Night Dreams Talk Radio Network can, but do not necessarily, promote any particular lifestyle, belief, religion, political affiliation, or other personal practice. These shows are for entertainment purposes only and are not intended to treat, diagnose, and or claim any cure of disease or condition or give any medical or legal advice. You can advertise your business on Night Dreams Talk Radio and you will be heard worldwide. Why not contact us at nightdreamstalkradio@gmail.com.
You're listening to my friend Gary Anderson on Night Dreams Talk Radio, the best in paranormal radio.
Well, thank you, John. I can't say it's the best. I can honestly say it's better than some on the internet. By the way, we're on 13 radio stations across the country and growing. Tonight, we got a great guest. We're going to be talking about Tales from the Day with Wayne-d-Mcfarland right after this.
Please check out the Night Dreams Talk Radio website at www.nightdreamstalkradio.com. Also, if you want to keep our show free of advertising, just hit the donate button. Give $1 or $2. Remember, all prior shows are always free to listen to. We at Night Dreams Talk Radio thank you for your support.
Well, Wayne, how are you doing here today?
I am well, Gary, and how are you?
Well, like I told you before we went on the air, I'm 67 years old. I don't have false teeth, and I still drive and ride a motorcycle, so I'm doing good.
Well, I got a year or two on you. Don't complain to me.
Okay, are you losing your car keys yet?
What's that?
Have you lost your car keys yet?
No, but I was emailed a picture from a friend of mine who said he'd lost his car keys, and then he opened the freezer, and there they were.
Okay.
And,
Wait a minute, Wayne. Does your friend know me? Because I've done that twice here in the past year.
Twice? Oh,
twice.
My God. No, I don't think so, and I'm sure the postal's not from you. No. But it was very funny, complete with a selfie and the keys.
That's the bad part, I tore the whole house apart looking for the keys, Then went out there and started looking in the driveway, in the gravel. Okay, the keys have to be there. And my wife says, hey, you went and got yourself some ice cream, didn't you? And I go, yeah. Why don't you check the frickin' freezer? Guess what? Right there next to the ice cream, there was my keys.
So you want us to buy the ice cream thing and not the vodka?
I don't know about that.
So that's usually a top drawer item in the freezer.
Yeah, I don't drink alcohol, and I won't tell you why. I'm a cheap drunk. You could take me out to a bar or wherever, as long as you buy me a half a beer and can carry me back out to the vehicle.
Yeah, the hard party days are but a distant memory for me as well. It's sad but true.
Oh, yeah. The last time I got drunk was at a party, and I thought I was eating, these, what do you call those little things that people put in a dish and you eat? And it turned out they came and told me the next day, what you were eating? I go, no, you're eating our cat food.
It's our cat food?
Yeah, well, I thought it was something, it was sitting there right on the coffee table. I didn't realize it, and I was a little drunk, and I thought they were hors d'oeuvres or something, and I just was popping them off,
What kind of people are you hanging with that put their cat food on the coffee table?
My wife's friends, actually.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm sure I won't quote you, and there's nobody else. There's just us talking, right?
Yeah,
so,
that almost about a million people. Good. So anyway, what got you to write this book?
Well, it's truth be told, a lot of, as you've probably seen on the studies in the news, there's a big segment of the American population getting, shall we say, mature, extremely mature. And I noticed one day that it seems to be kind of a truism that people cross a certain age demarcation, and suddenly, like a bolt from the heavens, they start thinking that everybody wants to read about how the way things used to be, right? When in fact, no one cares. The fact that you used to play kick the can until dark, or roller skated by cinching skates onto your shoes with a skate key, no one cares. And so I decided the only thing that makes any sense if you stumble along is to talk about events that have some kind of either a lesson, no matter how weird, or some kind of a universal function where they'll resonate in another 2 or 3 or 4 generations, like they resonated when you fell off the truck. So I wrote a book called Tales from the Day. There is a shameless plug, and it's 19 chapters of things like the day we went shark fishing in our underwear, or the day we sparked a riot in Fargo, North Dakota. Kind of a far cry from roller skating on the sidewalk.
Oh, yeah.
So, and it was great. It was great fun, really. And I found that there's a number of classical books out there that stand the test of time. I don't know if this one will, but I have my hopes. And I found in mentally redoing them, they were things that, by and large, had something about the human condition that tended to translate or resonate. I think most human experience, it's not unique to a particular era or a particular generation. There are certain things, craziness, love, loss, anger, whatever, that have been with us for longer than recorded history, and they're going to be with us for a long time in the future. So I really think to answer your question, I guess the reason I wanted to do it was to take all the weird tales that I always told my nieces and nephews and put them down on paper and kind of go against swim against the stream a little bit, where a lot of memoirs are written about times that will never be again, actually. And furthermore, times that don't resonate with anybody now because they're never going to come back. And the fact that nobody used to steal bicycles left on the lawn has nothing to do, heaven knows, with today's world. No, they steal out of your house nowadays. Exactly right.
While you're sleeping.
After breaking in the window.
Right. Yeah. And we just lost you. What happened here? Okay, we're going to have to get him back. That happens with Skype sometimes. You're going to have to live with this noise while we get him back.
Did we?
You went bye-bye. That usually happens when I'm talking about somebody who was saying that they worked for the government, undercover, or they were doing something, with the CIA, or they worked in Area 51 going back and re-engineering, UFOs. Then all of a sudden I get a lot of those. Not what we're talking about.
Yeah, well, that was strange. You're right. That hasn't happened before. It's not storming here. I understand you went through quite a storm here not too long ago. We were going to talk previously, and you had to bag it. Internet went down, I guess?
Well, more than that. It was weird. My whole life up in the Northwest, in the Seattle I grew up, I remember as a kid, we once had a snowstorm where we had about 2 feet of snow. But normally, we get like 2 inches, 3 inches, 4 inches. Where I'm at, up at the harbor near Tacoma, Washington, on the peninsula, I get like every other year I might get like 1 inch of snow, and it lasts a day or so and it's gone. This year we had 2.5 feet come down in a day's time.
Holy cow.
So, the next thing I know, my internet's down. Then I figured, okay, well, I'm safe because I still have my satellite, used for, broadcasting also as a backup. Oh no, my son comes because my studio's in the house. And my son goes, hey, do you know a tree came down on the roof? And the first thing I said, whereabouts? And then he told me. And I go, oh, my God. So I went and checked. Guess what? It wiped out the satellite dish. So I had nothing for over a week. The only reason why it got up as fast as it did, I posted something on my cell phone on Facebook, and one of my listeners happens to be one of the vice presidents of marketing or something with Comcast, saw it. They sent a crew out in the middle of the night, which they normally don't do, and got me up.
Wow. Well, that worked out well, and I was really interested to hear that you've been doing this for a long time. So you've been through the whole evolution of radio and broadcasting over the past 3 years as well, I gather.
Oh, yeah, that tells me how old. Because I was retired, and for me, I was totally, I'm going to have to admit, I was pretty much computer illiterate. I could get on and, get on eBay and things like that. And that was about my limit back here about 2 years ago. So, when I got that call from my friend, I had to learn how to, use the computer. Then, because I have a massive electronic background, I end up having to, create my own studio, wire it all up. It was really interesting.
Yeah, and part of what I've read a number of studies on it too, that I think the whole vision of like you were saying, that when you retired once or twice, your time was filled with motorcycle riding and various things. And what they've come to the conclusion is that if someone wants to not only keep their marbles, but remain active and engaged, it means being active and engaged and understanding that your brain is a muscle, like anything else. And if you don't use it, you lose it.
Oh, yeah.
And the studies have also shown what the time frame for non-active people who always have had the vision of retirement as the hammock and the fishing pole, that people who attack having lots of free time by not really doing anything tend to die quickly.
Oh, they do.
There's an incentive, right?
Now, I've seen that. I've seen it in my own family, and it's funny, they can't wait to retire. Then they sit in their chair and watch TV and eat and get, well, I'm already fat, but they would sit in their chair, right? And next thing I know, a year or two later after they're retired, they're planted. And, it's funny. I had a physical condition that a lot of people, told me, hey, you can't ride a motorcycle, you can't do this. And I told the doctor, screw off, pardon my language. And, it didn't stop me. And in having 8 kids, or do have, depends if I'm mad at any of them, that, it keeps me young. Now, maybe my body isn't, but my brain is. And you know what I've really noticed, Wayne? A lot of people that I've known for many years, when they're getting around 67, they're slow. They don't even know what's going on in the world.
Yeah, it really is. I am on Facebook, and a lot of I left a small town in the Midwest years ago, and a lot of my old friends and